Hi guys, it's Jen with JKC Mobile Notary and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we've got an interview with the creator of the Integrity Journal. If you don't know about the Integrity Journal, for you as a notary loan signing agent, it is mind-blowing and the most biggest change to our notary business we could have in paper journals for loan signings. His name is Clyde Heppner, and I'm so happy to introduce you to him and to get started with this interview. So if you're ready, I'm ready. But don't forget, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that bell. Notary content is coming nonstop every week. Don't miss it. If you're ready, I'm ready again. Let's go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to JKC Mobile Notary YouTube channel. Today, I'm super excited to introduce you to the creator of the Integrity Journal, Clyde Heppner. Hi, Clyde.
Hello, how are you today, Jennifer? Thanks
I'm
for inviting me.
Go ahead.
I really appreciate this. This is great.
Oh,
So thanks much.
I am too. I want to tell you guys a little bit about him. Clyde is the owner of Mobile Notary KC LLC. He's a mobile notary and loan signing agent in Kansas City, Missouri area. He's also the creator of the Integrity Journal. This journal is why he's here today, and I can't wait to talk more about it. So I'm really happy that you sat down with me today, and I can't wait to get into learning more about you and about your whole process in coming up with this amazing journal.
Awesome. Thank you much. This will be great fun. Thanks, Jen.
Awesome, Clyde. Okay, well, let's just start with, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I'm sure
Okay.
you've had quite the journey here, but I'd love to hear just kind of a synopsis of you.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, the Reader's Digest version. I went to graduate school, went all the way through, got my doctorate in psychology, but my area is about applied statistics, human cognition, and perception. And so I ended up working within corporate America and became an executive for a Fortune 50 company, and did that for several years. Learned a lot about people and processes and how can we simplify their lives. So that's really the big focus of where my work was within corporate. And then when I left, I decided to do something totally different. I decided to open a yoga studio. So yes, I know. So this is like, from one side to the other side. But it really was about helping me to sort of bring back more of a centering in my life, a peacefulness that I was missing. And so that allowed me to sort of step back. And I, during that process, recalled that somebody had come to my house and we had done a loan closing, around the dining room table. And so I spoke with her afterwards, and she told me that this whole process exists where a notary can then become a loan signing agent. And she gave me her card, and literally I held on to that for about 15 years.
Wow.
I know. And then I called her and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, like she's not going to be doing this anymore.
Right.
She's still doing it. She actually had started to train locally here. So she takes about 4 or 5 people on at a time. So I signed up, and that's how I sort of transitioned all the way from corporate, from yoga studio, and then into this. So as the yoga studio business was going along, my wife and I talked about selling the business at some point, and I said, okay, yeah, well, when it's ready, it will happen. And that's a lot about how my life has been, is sort of putting it out into the universe, and then when those opportunities arise, I'm available to take advantage of them.
Right.
And so we had put that out there, and I had started the process of getting documents together so that if somebody asked about it or we put it for sale, all that would be ready. So long story short, somebody came up to me, offered me, it was like 3 months later, I kid you not, 3 months later, offered me what I was thinking of offering this to sale would be. And within 6 weeks after that, the entire transaction was completed. And all of a sudden, I found myself without a job.
Yeah. When you put things out in the universe, sometimes the universe moves faster than you're ready.
That is true. And so then I transitioned to becoming a notary and a loan signing agent.
Got you. Wow, what for Reader Digest? That's quite the journey. I love yoga. I practice yoga daily.
Oh,
so,
wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
In another life, in another body, maybe I would have been a yoga instructor, but I do love the practice. So I think that's really, really cool, Clyde.
Yeah.
So you kind of covered the careers you did before becoming a notary. So your deciding factor to leap into being a notary loan signing agent was the sale of your yoga studio.
Correct. And I was, thinking about this, and because we're in the process of selling, right? So I've got that 6 week, they're going through that process.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, what should I do? And my wife is going, well, just let it bubble. It'll, you'll find what that is that's next. And I recalled this, business card up on my bulletin board, and I pulled it down and I talked with the woman, and we had a great conversation. And what was really attractive to me was the fact that it's a real profession, right?
Yeah.
And you're a professional within that setting. So this really syncs with what I had been doing in my life. And I liked the aspect that you really were there for important points in other people's lives,
right,
that you could then begin to assist them in those points. And so I thought, this is going to be great, because I really can see myself acting in that capacity to, meet with people, take care of the transaction, but most importantly, that I'm there and I'm giving back to my community. So that was the attraction.
Yeah. I think that Bill Soroka shares this quote from Maya Angelou about how we can't possibly, maybe it's not Maya Angelou, but we can't possibly succeed without helping others succeed at the same time. So yeah, I agree with you. So, so now you're notary, and did you wait very long to become a loan signing agent?
I did it fairly quickly because I was that typical new notary. It was like, oh God, I don't want to go out on these calls. I don't know anything about these documents. Oh my God. And it was all of that imposter syndrome and everything else about the nerves and, how do I do this? I mean, just tons and tons of questions, right? So it seemed from the outside that loan signing was more controlled, right? I could at least get a preview of some of the documents. There's a typical process. And so I slowly gravitated to that, but I was doing general notary work very sheepishly at the same time. So I would take appointments, but I was one of those who wasn't always answering the telephone because I just didn't have the confidence.
Yeah. And sometimes that just takes some time to grow. And clearly it did, because you're here as a leader in our industry because of an amazing product that you created. So, okay. So once you got into doing loan signings, I'm curious, at what point in that journey did the idea for the journal pop up?
Okay. I would say it was about 6 months in of actually doing loan signing as a full-time, this is what I'm doing day in and day out, right? And what became apparent to me was the journals just weren't set up to assist me, right? And so I quickly learned, how do you retire a journal? Because I became so frustrated with all of those that I was buying. And I would find parts that I liked and parts that I really disliked. So graduate school killed me in terms of penmanship. So my writing is atrocious. So it's big, it's sloppy. And the journal, it's got small boxes, it's got little tiny areas, it has a note section that's probably about 2 lines long. I couldn't do it. I was writing over the entire page, and it just became more and more frustrating. And so I thought, well, could I design one myself?
Right.
And I didn't know. I mean, I thought that agencies like the National Notary Association,
Right.
American Association of Notaries, they were the ones that could do these, I couldn't. And so I called my Secretary of State. I think they thought I was crazy. But they weren't aware of any rational reason why it couldn't, as long as it met the criteria of the statutes, right? In our state, it had to be bound, had to
Mhm.
be numbered consecutively, and those basic
Yeah.
requirements on how you
Followed your
create a
state
journal.
Secretary of State's rules to make
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
right. And went through that process, and then it was like, now I'm trying to take what I had captured in the field onto these pages that I was developing. So had I been in this situation, here's the notes that I took from that. How does it work if I put it into this format? And that was the iteration. And then I started having other notaries. Once it became bound that I
Mhm.
could test it,
Yeah.
then I had other notaries begin to use it, and they provided feedback and documents that I missed, and just all of those details that come out by somebody else using
Right. Other
using
eyes.
your
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Well,
So that's that process.
I have to tell you something. So I wish I had a way to show everybody what we're talking about, but I want to talk about it because if there's a notary who's been doing any notary work or loan signing, just explaining this a little bit was going to make heads blow. Because for me, when I
Okay.
first discovered it, I think I was 2 journals in, regular journals in.
Oh,
I'm in my
oh,
first year. I was so busy with those refis, right? And
yes,
when I
yes.
discovered, I don't even remember how I discovered your journal. I don't remember
Hmm.
how. I don't, all I know is I saw somebody kind of open it up and I was like, where do I
Yeah.
get that? And can I use it in California? And once I found out, I
Yes,
too had to learn how to retire a journal. But I'm going to tell you what I did that day. When
yes.
your journal came, I took my old journal and a glass of wine and a big fat Sharpie marker, and I just turned all the pages on my and I made it an event because the Integrity Journal is
Uh,
very unique in that instead of being just a book that opens like this, it does open, but you turn it and the top and bottom page, it's one document signing, not one document, but one table signing. So one
right.
real estate loan
Yes.
signing. So you can put the signers' names in once, their information in once, their thumbprints once, and you check off the documents you've notarized.
Hmm.
Blowing. It's just mind blowing. And it completely changed the game for my
Yeah.
notarizations at loan signings. The
Hmm.
biggest time suck in a loan signing, without a doubt, is not the signing of documents. It is the journal,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
and the continuing of their signatures and thumbprints after they've just done it
Yes.
a dozen times. So when that was
Yes.
gone, whoa, hour-long
Yeah.
appointments, 30 minutes.
Yes.
30 minutes of time it saved just from signing. It's really, really remarkable, Clyde. It really is. I'm sure you hear that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I get some wonderful emails. I read through the reviews online.
Mhm.
The one thing that I wanted to be was more efficient, and to sort of guide people through the process. And those were the goals. And I agree. My clients, when you would go out and you would meet with them for a loan signing, and you have the stack of papers, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes there can be, if you're lucky and you're doing the AMROC, there's two notarizations.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're doing another one, it might have 14
Yep.
notarizations, and then you've got a couple, so now you've got 28 notarizations.
Mhm.
Now I'm doing 28 lines. I'm having them sign 28 times. I mean, these people were not happy with me, and I kept
Times
saying, I'm
two.
sorry,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but that's the process, and
Yeah.
so yes, the journal became a lifesaver for me, because I kept thinking, how can I make this easier for them and myself? And so that was all of the impetus behind it.
Well, if your goal was to save time and to have things happen more effectively, you achieved it. I think that you're right. If we just follow kind of the prompts in this journal and you get used to that rhythm, it's just
Yeah.
it's an easy. I think I went that first year. I think I finished one of your journals. I have 3 of them. So, yeah,
Thank you.
I'm really,
Yes.
I really am a fan, and I think that people. Now, I want to ask a question. Do you think this is a good journal? As the market has changed a little bit, we're not in this mad rush, bulls going down the streets with refis. We're not in that right now. Do
No,
you
no.
think that this journal is still a good journal for the general notary work?
Yeah, so I use it, and I know many others who use it. Excuse me, I'm trying to slide off my chair. The thing is that most most things that I deal with and the people who find value in the journal are at a table where there's multiple documents being signed. So if you think about this as estate documents, so you've got wills, power of attorneys, healthcare directives, trust certification documents, just the whole host that goes
Yeah,
into those packages. Again, same situation, general notary context.
right.
The other thing is I do a lot of adoptions.
Okay.
So these are couples that are adopting a child here in the United States.
Okay.
So the child is local to the United States and the couples may be someplace else in the United States or international. So in those cases, I am dealing with anywhere between 5 and 10 documents for a signing at a time. Vital statistics documents alone, there's 3 documents right there when a child is born.
Yeah.
So the multiple documents is really one of the critical elements of what makes this efficient.
Absolutely.
One-on-one, it's one line, one document,
Yeah.
life is good. If that's the bulk of your business, that's where you should be because that's going to be your value.
Right.
But if you're doing multiple documents or have that thought that that's how you're going to market your business, then you really wanted a journal, a tool that's going to aid you in that situation.
Right. And to be very clear, you can't maintain 2 separate journals. So if you are doing,
right,
if you're using the integrity journal for loan signings, trust document signings, multiple documents at a signing, you also will be using that journal for your one-offs. So that's okay.
Correct.
That's okay. But
yeah,
if you're never gonna move into multiple document signings, then what I think Clyde's trying to say is it's probably not the right fit. But if you ever are, it's your journal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
When did you, okay, so you created the journal, you had other people try it out. When did it go fully to market? Do you know when that happened?
2000. It's been out there. I can say it's been out there for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
You came out with this just before I became a notary. So it's been out for I've had it for most of my notary career. So that's, and I'm at 2.5 right now. So.
Okay. Yeah. So
pretty exciting.
It's been good.
It's pretty exciting. Now people can buy your journal on Amazon, correct?
Correct. It is on Amazon. And so it is the Integrity Notary Journal. There are some knockoffs, so do be careful.
We'll give them a direct link so they don't have that problem.
You'll get a good link from Jen, yes, because Jennifer will have that all laid out for you. But and you'll know if you're not in the right place because there won't be any reviews of the particular journal you're buying. So mine has right now over 600 reviews, and that's as of today. So you'll know that it's a real thing.
Awesome. Well, what else is going on with you with business right now? Are you still doing loan signing and general notary work?
Yes, so I do some loan signings. I still like to do those. I don't know. There's something about that that interaction, and you get to spend the time with those people in that situation.
Right.
And so I do enjoy those. And then I also do quite a bit of general notary work, which is really the bulk of my business right now.
Okay.
Most of that is direct with attorneys and like estate planners and such. So I'm doing less from the general public. I still meet with people of the general public,
Right.
but they're coming to me through an attorney or an estate planner of some sort.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying that pocket of business?
Yeah. And so for me, why I like this is because so I've moved into that whole semi-retirement thing. I can't really retire just because I'll go crazy if I don't have some interactions. And I find that to be an important part of my life, to have those social interactions. And the other thing that I like is that doing work this way, it's all scheduled for me. So I'm able to actually schedule out my weeks pretty well in advance,
That's
which
nice.
is really nice.
Yeah.
Uh, and the other half, so my wife did retire, but she failed entirely at it. So she went back to work full time. She couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
So I'm the one that is hanging out around the house, and so it's really working out well in that I can schedule things, and then I can get grocery shopping and other things and all those things, normal life activities
Yeah.
mixed in. Yeah.
Well, what a wonderful way to kind of settle into your career, after where you've
Yeah.
come from. I Oh, I was going to ask, aside from the initial edits, have you ever gone back, or have you thought about going back to make any changes to the journal?
Yes, so there have been little revisions here and there in terms of document names being updated and
Right.
those kinds of things. Right now, I'm not aware of any new major changes of documents, and so once that happens, we'll start to do those as well.
Yeah.
So we'll try to keep up with what's happening in the out in the industry.
Right.
But right now, I've
It's
not
good
seen a
as
big change from
yeah,
what I've come through.
it's pretty good as it
Um,
is.
Thank you.
Oh, well, Clyde, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking with
Oh,
me about this. And guys, one of the things that I'm so happy that Clyde's here is that his integrity journal is on that resource page that's available now. You can click down below. And I know that Clyde is working on a special project for you as a kind of gift
yes.
for subscribing to that. And you guys will find that as soon as you get your hands on
Yes.
that resource page. But Clyde, thank you so much
Yes.
for this. Take
Oh,
care
you're
of
welcome.
yourself.
I will do that. I will do that. Thank you very much, Jennifer. And you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Clyde. What a unique human being in our industry, and what a really fun journey to where he is now. I hope that you learned a lot. I hope that you found some value in this. But more than anything, if you're a loan signing agent and you're in a paper journal, I really hope that you'll check out this journal. The link for the journal is in the description box. However, Clyde is providing you with an awesome free download on best journal practices, and for new notaries, and also those of us that have been in the business for a while, incredibly helpful information. You can only get that if you buy the notary resource page, which right now is still for $10. So that's also linked in the description below. So until next week, I hope you guys will come back. I hope you are exploring all of these new products that are coming out and services that are coming out. And I hope I'll see you again on the next one. Until then, bye-bye.